I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. What's good, what's good, what's good, what's going on, what's good with you? As you come on in, know that you are in a safe space. Know that you are in a space where you are encouraged to question, to answer, to think, to analyze, to seek solution. Know that you are loved. Know that you will win. All right? When my mods come in the building, come in the spotty spot, please put all green screen information up in the chat. Please put all contact information up in the chat. Please put all the merch links in the chat. The Etsy link. Please, and sisters, women, queen comrades, don't miss out on the bathing suit merch. The one-piece black jump off. Yes, it is there. Yes, be the first one to cop it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go see for yourself. Go see for yourself. So everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get to it. As you all are aware now of the Shanqella Robinson case, and all were triggered, were very emotional, still to this day have no clear understanding of why it took place, how it took place, what's going on with it, as far as we are concerned. Okay? As far as we are concerned. It was a horrific case. And as you all know, if you are in my spot, if you are in the class, that we all of us have to do a much better job when it comes to protecting ourselves, when it comes to finding our purpose, when it comes to making sure that all moves are met with as much precision that we can get. I mean, sometimes it is mind-boggling to me just how loose people are when it comes to their personal space, when it comes to the space of their wives, of their sisters, of their mothers, of their children, just not engaged. Not engaged in safety. So when these stories come across our timelines and we look and we ponder and we feel empathetic for the family, man, many of us, most of us, sharpen up, tighten up, and become very, very engaged in the conversation with not only ourselves in the tribe, but with our loved ones. no matter how resistant they may be. Many of us are engaged, and we tweak how we move. Not about being fearful, but about being cautious and aware. So as we look at this case, well, as we look at the case at that time, we were very, very angry. It enraged many of us because not only was this a beautiful young woman, we saw how viciously she was attacked by people she entrusted. And as toxic as this society is, as toxic and volatile as these young people are with each other, you dig? We couldn't even fathom that particular piece. Salute, salute. The intellectual soapbox. Salute. Salute to Mr. Johnson, my hero, and the realest OG period. Yes, indeed. As soon as y'all go live, I'll be up in the chat. Yes, I will. Again, it was shocking. We've watched videos of, the younger kids, the middle school and the teenage kids over the decade getting into these fights, taping these fights. We've seen people attacked, right? We've witnessed the young preteen that spent the night at the friend's house, and these little girls, no more than 9, 10, and 11, threw, the hot water on her, burnt up. We watched, remember Shorty that got stolen on, she was unsuspecting. Boom, chick knocked her glasses clean off. We've been watching a lot. And we've also witnessed many violent attacks on black women, from attempted kidnappings to stabbings to shootings to outright murders at the hands of people who are exes or estranged husbands or divorced husbands, boyfriends, brothers, family. We've watched it consistently. But with this particular case, we had seen that there was a fallacy of a good time. There was a fake enjoyment while they were plotting on this young woman. And the attack was brutal. So we all expected, since it was on camera, that somebody going down for it. Those people going down for it. And as time went along, we started to see how it was loosening up. Now, I'm going to be honest. I never thought that they would get any type of justice in this particular case, because for me, these individuals should have never been let out of the country. I'm going to keep it a buck. Regardless of what, we've seen crimes against citizens in so many different countries, and they just didn't move like that. Even with the Euros, it just didn't move like that. When we started getting this information and we seen the interviews and how it's played out and how it died down, I had that criminal intuition. You see, when you've been through the system so many times and you are still in touch with people who are behind the wall, from feds to states you get a gist of it. You're like, yo, they not moving right on this. So today's information didn't surprise me. But what surprised me was the irony in the other two important news stories to come out in the mass media about Mexico, about border wars, about the cartels, and how the U.S. government is responding to all of this. So now the feds put out this statement, and it's the same statement that's on all of the different news cycles, platforms, and everything, right? And this is what they gave to the family. Said it was discrepancies in the case. And it said these discrepancies can be credited to the delay in investigation by U.S. officials who conducted a second autopsy once Shanqella's body was embalmed, the attorneys said. Now, these are the attorneys, right, who, again, we got the same characters, the Ben Crump dude, and he don't know, he has no clue when it comes to international law. None. But again, family believing that it's a bag somewhere at the end of it, they reach out, especially when it hits national news. You should have known that, though. Mexican government ain't giving no U.S. citizens no damn bag. Period. They fighting over shit themselves. Okay? But let me continue. When an investigation is delayed, the hard evidence to support prosecution diminishes. But in this case, that is due to the U.S. not considering this case to be a high priority. And to be honest, it's not, and it wasn't, for the simple fact that so many U.S. citizens get assaulted, kidnapped, murdered, extorted by the Mexican cartels and the government, that this case is no different. The only thing that makes it real wacky is that this is allowing American citizens to get away with murder of another American citizen on foreign land. That's it. That's the main difference, which shows you just how loose that country is. And it's been like that. It was like that 10 years ago. It was like that 20 years ago. It was like that 50 years ago. It was like that 100 years ago. It was like that 140 years ago. Mexico in that land always been off its rockers. Always. Always been lawless. Look at any Hollywood movie. Look at any of it. And I always reference that because, again, the gauge for us has never been go to the books. Never been encyclopedias and things like that, even though we had to utilize them growing up. But it was full with narratives of what they wanted us to believe. So, at some points, Hollywood reference from their fiction and non-fiction films can give you a gander into that. So when you watch the old westerns, these old cowboy movies, and they talk about going into Mexico, making it to Mexico, and disappearing, the lawlessness has always been there. There's truth in fiction. There's truth in story writing. It's always been there. There's always been the siestas, the jokes, the get to the town. Nobody give a damn about what happens. So it doesn't surprise us. And I told you about my experience being so close to the border, going through basic training in El Paso at Fort Bliz, Texas. Right? Actually see the border, actually see them coming across, and drill sergeants saying, don't go that far, don't go over there, don't go to the Circle K, because there's bandits over there, and if they catch you over there private, they're going to do you dirty. It has always been knowledge of the fact that there is absolutely no law and order in Mexico. And that's for their own citizens. So when we see this and we're witnessing it, we're like, damn. We just know that something has to happen behind this. American citizens wilding out to the degree that they murdered this young woman and nobody is going to be held responsible for it? No. The feds is telling you this, right? And it says here, the news comes weeks after Robinson's legal team urged the U.S. government in a letter to intervene in the case and expedite the prosecutorial process. Robinson's relatives have long suspected foul play in her death. Robinson was vacationing with 6 friends at the Mexican resort, arriving on October 28th. She was dead less than 24 hours later, with friends claiming she had alcohol poisoning, the family said. Robinson's body had bruises and cuts with knots persistent on her face. The necropsy report by the Baja California Attorney General medical examiner, made public by Ben Crump, one of the family's attorneys, labeled Robinson's death as violent. All right? Now, we saw the beating. We saw the beating. Okay? We witnessed it. Now, in order, at this point, for them to get justice in a criminal manner, the U.S. would have to send its citizens, extradite them to Mexico for prosecution. Because the feds is saying there's not enough evidence for them to pursue the case. This is where we're going at with this. This is where we at with it. All right? Horrible case. But, again, hear me out now. This happened in October. Halloween weekend. Right? Now, we all kept our eyes somewhat on it. in January, the first week of January, they knocked El Chapo's son, Little Chapo, whatever the hell they was calling him, he got knocked. They banged him, boom. Cartel said they were going to turn up. And ever since then, it was unstable. Mind you, all during this time, even before Shanqella Robinson, resorts was getting popped on. All of them. All of them. There was one incident with 4 American citizens that got murdered at a resort because the cartels was banging at each other in Cancun. We hear all this. We know all this. So all during this time it's been popping off. They knocked El Chapo's son in January. Right? So tell me. And we know we heard it because why? Because if our peoples wasn't running around, peoples that are hustling in the town wasn't trying to go and cop and get work and do all this other wild stuff, we know that we keep abreast of criminal elements. But yet and still, our people never believe it's going to happen to us. Never, 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 never believe it's going to happen to us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You understand? Our people always believe that that tough guy nigga shit is always going to be respected or feared for some strange reason. Because it works in our communities amongst ourselves. Shit don't hold no weight nowhere else. Because again, our communities are ran so loose. When you go into other communities, it's ran tight. And when you go out in those communities and act up, they on your ass and police on your ass. So most of the tough guy shit happens in fisticuffs when it comes to us and our people. So never mind going into a foreign country where you don't understand the language, you only speak English. And you're not going out there in an aggressive manner. See, the mind of the tough guy has to always be on that type of time. You always have to be in the ready, on that mode, the aggressor, in order to even compete with that same type of energy that you're going to need it to be when you're not in your space. Because those who are in their space, they're comfortable with it. They're ready for all that. Especially from an outsider. So now, follow me. We went through Shanqella. We know the resorts is popping off. We know it's all type of wild shit going on. Here we go with the Carolina 4. And this is just something that I'm titling them because I've seen nobody else give them any type of major attention until we just seen them on Anderson Cooper, the 2 survivors. So we're going to call them the Carolina 4. Why? Where were they at? How did they miss all this and decide to go down there? Boggles the mind. You miss Shanqella Robinson case. You miss the cartels going up. You miss El Chapo Jr., Lil Chapo getting knocked. You miss all this information. to take your ass out there for a surgery. You see, again, how we're not connected to social studies, to just general know-how, to just prime information, because we get so consumed in us, in who we are, in what we're doing, that you miss the outside world. See, because ghetto nigga shit is a real tiny box in comparison to the rest of the world. Because we believe somebody is about that action, is all that, or we believe that somebody is rich, or we believe that this is the baddest bitch in the world, don't mean the rest of the world know at all. It just doesn't. So when we, again, and I will say in our ignorance of the rest of the world, the rest of humanity, other societies and nations and how they operate, we make very, 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 very costly errors. All the time. Shit been happening for the longest, but people kind of miss it. Like, it's like when dudes go out of town hustling and they don't understand who in the town, who run the town, the history of the town. And you take your New York ass down there and you don't make it back. You know, things like that. Because you the meanest, the baddest, the most turned up and lit on your block, which is about 30 feet, you believe the whole entire world is going to respond to you as such. So, the Carolina Four, again, learned a very, very costly lesson. And I can only teach, I can only say that I wish for our people to actually really learn these lessons. To learn them. Because the shit is just simple. It's simple for me. You barely can move around your own town safely. You gonna go to another damn country where you don't speak the language? You don't know what time it is? You don't know who beefing with who? You don't even know the money conversions. You don't know nothing. But you just out. We do it all the time. We do it all the time. All the time. That hardcore, deep ingrained nigga mentality. Done watched every blaxploitation film there is. Believed in Shaft. Believed in Goldie. Believed in all that shit. And you got that nigga cape on. And you think you can just step anywhere you want to on the planet. And that's going to hold you down. You're okay. Okay. So now what? The kidnapping or attempted kidnapping or whatever they want to call it, with precision, jumped on them. They didn't know what was going on. Real quick, got to them. No resistance, popped on them. Quick. And now they get caught. And now we're hearing exactly what took place and what they were doing to them. Right? What they were doing to them. You in one mind saying, yeah, I got my dudes, we going down. They gonna make sure I'm good. And now, two of them, you watching one of them lose his life, take his last breaths. The others is banged up. And they trying to make you have sex with them. And for me, Anderson Cooper was a little bit too excited with that. Well, he made us say it again. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, excuse me? They wanted you to do what? They wanted you to have sex with them? Like, she just said it. You ain't hear her? He kind of perked up, like, excuse me? Grippers got moist in an instant. Like, yo, she just said it. And you can see the trauma on them. On them. They don't need to do any more press. They don't. Because, again, she's going to have to continuously relive this trauma, knowing that she got her people's body for something that was not needed. Now we are in a space, and again, because we are conditioned to believe in many different things, some subconsciously, some right on your brain cap, and you believed in a lot. You believed this was the land of the free, the home of the brave. You're an American. You deserve this. You can do that. These vacations and bacon, all this weirdo stuff that the Euros have ingrained in you. You seeing right now to this very day are false narratives. Straight up. I knew false narratives first time I was overseas and I had to live there. I was like, hold up. They don't treat me like this back home. I'm all type of niggas back home. I'm all type of this, that. No, totally different. Word? Nothing. Very different. Very different. Subtle. Rock to sleep over there. Rock you to sleep over there. Remember how Captain Kirk and Spock went to that planet, all them beautiful women, they was on them, rocking them to sleep, all up in their grippers. Spock thought he was in love. None of that shit was illogical. They was on his grippers. That's how they do you overseas. When you're in the military, you in Germany or Japan or rock you. Chicks be on you. The darker you are, the better. Like, what the fuck is going on over here? doing all type of weird shit. I ain't even get into them stories yet. I ain't even go there. That's on the man up. When I speak to the men, we'll talk about that. Going into restaurants, not even picking up a utensil. Chicks is feeding you. Whole meal. All type of way. Showing your ass, black man. Yeah. Treat you very different. Rocking you to sleep. Slow death. No death. Treatment. Very different. So when you coming through the institutional racism that we live through here, in the back of it, they tell you that not, but even in that ill treatment, you're still an American. You're protected. You can do these things. Like vacations overseas and all that. And my thing is, I don't know if it's just me, but there's no work that has been done. I haven't done any work that would warrant me to say that I'm going to go and sit down in Mexico for a week. Or go to some other island that's oppressed and is downtrodden, but the resorts is banging so I can kick my feet up for a week. The fuck is that? I got work to do. But again, the beliefs are manifested through our behaviors and our actions. And it is causing black folks to lose their lives. All right? So now, again, they tried to body them, found out when those wasn't going to pass out and die, they try to have fun with them. Yeah, why don't y'all hump each other? Like, what? So I had to do my research real quick. And then I seen that there wasn't nothing out of pocket. The cartels do that. I'm watching videos of them forcing men to kiss each other and all that. Like, what? This is what we doing now? This is what they do? I'm not going down there. For what? For what? So let me get it right now, because again, we can have things both ways. Are you an American citizen protected by the rights of the American government? Or are you some FBA radical, more, whatever you want to deem yourself, F the government and all that? And then take your ass on vacations. And all of the things that come with being an American. You can't have it both ways. Okay? Because now you're screwy. You don't know what you are. You don't know how to be. You don't know what your purpose is. So 1 minute you this way, 1 minute you that way, 1 minute you this way, the next minute you that way. When you're broke, you hate America. When you get a little check, it's all good. Let's go on vacation, passports and all that. And woe is me. When your grippers is in a bind, you can't rely on shit. And this is where we're at with it right now, when we're looking at these cases. But, excuse me, it's ironic that in the news of these two cases, we also get the news, and it's really the backstory that Republicans are declaring war on the cartels. They've been having a war on the cartels since goddamn McCarthy. Since Roosevelt. What are we talking about here? But that's the backstory, because the cartels are pumping fentanyl into the country. It's like, what are we talking about here? But see, that's the backstory. Because after they traumatize you with the fact that nothing is going to happen to anybody for Shanqella Robinson or for the Carolina 4, you're holding nobody responsible for that. You're angry. You're sad. You're seeking justice. You're seeking revenge. So if the Republicans say, yeah, we going down there hard on them, we going to put the military on them, you'll start siding with the Republicans and saying, yeah. Massa and them said they're going down there. Let's rock with them. Be mindful of what you listen to. Be mindful of the games and the technology that they playing. Be mindful of that. Because you could get your own justice. Sit your ass home. Stop playing. Understand that in your limitless society that your ass got limits. There's a dangerous world for you right now. Because you know what else? Get real funny style. When they pop that little shit, the cartel say, okay. And the easiest victims for them is those who don't even suspect it. Tourists, people who still think that they could go down to Cancun with their grippers out, with their kids playing in the resort, and then you start hearing more weird stories. You understand? Real weird stories. But you know who else gets victimized? All our brothers in the federal system and the California state system, where them cartels is running rampant. So again, it comes right back around to me saying that we're not a united front, that we're not militarily prepared, that we're not soldiering up, that we're still playing games like it's sweet. And when they always talk that shit in the news, you ask any of your people that's doing time. Cartels turn it up in the prisons. And when our people are not united, when you got New York over here, DC boys over here, Crips over here, Tamils over here, Muslims over here, Aryans over here, and all Mexicans like this, who gonna be the victims? This is where we at with it. And our people fail fail. They get an F in class because they have this belief that it's never going to happen to them. Damn what you think it should be. It is what it is. Stay your ass out of these foreign countries, especially the ones that are off the hook. That they don't have their own regulations. They don't have their own shit in check. It don't make sense. So now what? We hype. We all turned up about something you really can't do anything about. Or about people who you really don't even know. We don't know. We don't know if we would give two damns about any of these people if we was to spoke or would have spoken to them before the incident took place. They probably wouldn't even have been in our tribe. Who's to say whether they were woke or not? Who does it say that they would look at any of us and be like, "Get that, you ain't talking that black shit." You understand? You understand? We have to deal with things in real time so we can make sure we have clear ways of doing things and how we are going to move. Because it's just like that. It happens just like that. Quick. Boom. Especially when you're not on solid land. Like, really? Come on, man. We're supposed to be smarter than that in this day and time, yo. For real. For real. For a lot of things that we participate in, that's an inherited situation. These are inherited celebrations. These are inherited things, man. And I'm just so glad I was raised by my dad. How and how he just made me think about wanting what others want, about really looking and analyzing certain things, man. I never was one to want to do certain shit. Grussler overseas, he could tell you that now. Salute Gruss, he overseas. He can tell you the temperament and what it's like to be an American overseas. Especially when you don't want to even be labeled an American. And have to be nervous because at any given time somebody could turn up on you. Because you know what? The worst thing about being melanated, about being black and going to foreign land, they don't even think that's an African. They immediately, because of where you at, what you're doing, how you operate, they immediately tag your ass American. And you could be one of the most unpatriotic dudes or women anywhere. And you will meet the fate of that flag. Just like that. Just like that. Because the rumor was with the Carolina 4 is that the cartels thought they were Haitian. Because Haitians was coming through there trying to do certain things. So that was the rumor. They thought they was Haitians that popped on them. And when they found out that they wasn't, that they were American, they said, we might let them go. It's like she spoke. She said, dude said, I'm out. As soon as y'all out, I'm out, because they're going to kill me for pushing to get y'all out. I'm out of here, too. Well, this is where we at with it now. So I'm just hoping that, because I'm telling you, spring is here, summer's coming. People gonna get excited watching that Freaknik thing. People gonna get crazy talking about the last time it was in Cancun and Tulum and all this other weird shit. And yo, we are in a very, very bad space when it comes to geopolitics. Your ass will be meatloaf. I'm telling you. Stop the bullshit. Learn your purpose. What are you here to do? Who are we? Seriously. And as you putting your plans together, right? Foolishly, because we don't own none of this shit. We don't own time and space. We just don't. Shit, I plan to do laundry in the morning. All type of weird shit can happen overnight. We don't own this shit. So as we find our purpose, I know that for goddamn sure, my purpose ain't to be on the news at 10. Anger management specialist found in Tulum. That ain't nowhere in my shit for that. That ain't part of my nothing. And that's real talk. I didn't make it through the struggles of my life to get tipped up in them other country talking about I'm vacationing some goddamn where. When I ain't finished my job. I said people seeking liberation from our oppression. Ain't no vacation time in that. Where the hell you take a break in that? Ain't no breaks. What are you talking about? We ain't even begin shit yet. We haven't even organized anything. We haven't put together no structures. And I got time for cruises and all type of weird shit. Talk about seeing the water and stars and dolphins and all that dumb shit that I can see on YouTube. Get out of here with that shit. Got work to do. God damn it, they poisoning chicken nuggets and all that shit. I got high science going on in my head to try to stop my people from goddamn becoming victims. Got police dogs in the city now. Robot shit. And I'm gonna be dealing with somebody that want a BBL? You serious? Shit don't work like that. What are we doing? So again, for those who lost their lives, to the families, we have our deepest condolences and empathy for them. But come on. We not safe. Keep telling y'all, everything around us has been weaponized against us. Everything. Media, culture, spirituality, military, finance, everything is weaponized against us. We don't have time to bullshit when we really don't have time. Start thinking and then doing. That's where we at with it. That's where we at with it. So again, be on point. You in my class, make sure you come back here with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. That's the mission. Make it home every night. That's your mission. Your mission ain't to be the toughest. Your mission ain't to be lollygagging, gossiping, bullshitting in the street. Your mission ain't none of that. Getting in a conflict with strangers and all. Your task is to get back to your dwelling safely. That's it. Y'all watch all this weird shit on TV. The Walking Dead is right outside. They right out there. Straight zombies doing dumb shit. Blowing dudes' minds out. I'm watching the video. Y'all see this shit. So what are you doing? Again, when you live with purpose, you dodge all this shit. All of it. But when you aimless, whoo. Ain't gonna be on your ass, Mr. Postman. I'm telling you. Oh, man. It get real nasty. It get real nasty. That's just where we at. So again, appreciate all the green screens. I don't know. Did I hear register? I don't know. Appreciate the green screens. Appreciate the super chats. I do. And remind me, my mods remind me, I'm going in on that Freaknik. I would have did it tonight, but I've been up all day. I done walked, because I ain't have my whip. I done walked like 3 hours a day to the mechanic and back. I'm telling you, my little legs is tight. Cheeks tight. I ain't walked like that in about, I don't know, since the pandemic. You dig? But I'm going to go in on it. Trust and believe. Because there's a lot of things that was taking place in those years. Okay? Shamel Mateen, salute for the green screen. There was a lot going on. A lot. Okay? And put it all in perspective. All of it. There's a lot of bullshit involved with it. And when they shut it down. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. I'm going into tomorrow's Friday. I don't know how many times I'm going to go live tomorrow. But I want to get in it. I want to get into that Freaknik thing, man. Because it was not a pleasant time. I know not for me, watching it, witnessing. I didn't like it. It was just wasn't my cup of tea. So I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you. What was really going on at them things. You dig? So I hope they ready for it. They sure is promoting it. I see a lot of men cheering and all that. I can only say I hope y'all ready. Because I'm telling you, the first one of them women who is somebody different today, and she get blown up and they seen on that shit, dude's gonna get me too. I guarantee you that shit. Let some one of these chicks be a pastor or a nurse or something, or one of these rap stars or actors, and I'm telling you, dudes is gonna be going down. So be mindful. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yup. Be on that Summer Jam screen. Grabbing grippers and all that. Alright. Always, I'm telling you, they use little things to weaponize against us. It's gonna get ugly. So again, don't believe in me, believe in my belief in you. Salute, salute, salute. We will win. Trust and believe we will win. But you have to be on purpose. You have to be on task. You have to be on go. And ain't nowhere am I planning going to any foreign country. I'm just sorry. My battle is right here. Fidel is gone, so we ain't got no safe spaces for me. Serious. All right? Salute, salute, salute.